What's good? It's your boy Norms, and this is the 10A podcast live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. This is what we're doing. I'm trying to shift up the schedule, get a new co-host. So I decided to bring the legend. You know what I mean? The legend, my man, Jesse Reekin. If y'all don't know who this man is, this guy is actually one of the more knowledgeable boxing individuals that I've actually been a part of. And I don't really compliment Jesse much. I usually insult him. So you gotta take that into consideration, Jess. Welcome. What the hell were we just talking about? We're just talking about some other stuff. But if you don't know Jesse, you probably know him from battle rap and stuff like that. But Jess actually knows a ton of boxing. I mean, he's Puerto Rico biased. He's very Puerto Rico biased. He's a Canelo hater, but he's still my guy. He really truly is one of the biggest Canelo haters I've ever met. But you know, it is what it is. It was Canelo weekend this weekend. We had
I'm a Canelo realist.
No, you're a hater. And I'm going to break it down to you. I'm going to break this Canelo hate down to you in a little bit. But anyways, Canelo Alvarez fought this weekend. We get into it right now against Edgar Berlanga. Most people had Berlanga getting KO'd early due to his past performances that were just not very impressive. But Berlanga survives for 12 rounds and even puts a little bit of red marks on Canelo Alvarez, and people are going crazy. Jess, what you think about the fight first and foremost?
It was an entertaining fight. I mean, I heard the pay-per-view buys did 750,000.
750K buys by the face of boxing. People, stop comparing him to anybody else.
Which shows he's still the pay-per-view king. I think those are the early numbers.
The face. Let's call it what it is. He's the face. Keep going.
He's the face right now. Yeah, man, it was an entertaining fight. You want me to talk about the whole card or just the fight itself?
No, let's talk about Canelo. We'll dive into that later.
An entertaining fight. Berlanga hung in there. He banged out a little, but I mean, I feel like Canelo should have got rid of him. You know, Canelo hasn't stopped somebody in like past 4 fights in 3 years.
Okay. Who's his last 4 fights again?
John Ryder, Jaime Munguia, Berlanga now, and Charlo.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Ryder, Charlo, Munguia, and now Berlanga. All went.
Out of those 4 guys, how many times have they been stopped? I know John Ryder was just stopped by Munguia, and he's never been even. I don't know if he's ever even hit the canvas at that point. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, he should have stopped Ryder.
Okay.
But.
Okay.
He's missing a step. That's all. That's all it is.
You feel like he's missing a step because he's not knocking the last 4 opponents out. That's how you feel.
Mm-hmm. The killer instinct is gone. I mean, it's wear and tear though. He's been a pro since he was 16. He's 34.
15, actually 15. I mean, to your point, I'm gonna say this. I mean, listen. Age is undefeated. Okay, age is undefeated. It's crazy to me when I hear people say that about Canelo, that he's lost a step because he's not KOing certain individuals. And then you look at a guy like Floyd Mayweather who didn't KO anybody towards the end of his career. And I never really heard anybody say that. They kind of appreciated his boxing sense. And I think things have changed with Canelo. He doesn't put his punches as well together anymore. He doesn't throw as many. He's a way better defensive fighter. He's more patient. He picks his shots. I get what you're saying in that regard. But did he lose a step? I kind of agree with you, and I kind of don't. Age, you're always going to lose a step. You're always going to lose your. I mean, Roy Jones lost physical presence. Floyd Mayweather did. It's just something that happens with time. But you're fighting guys that are big. I mean, I'm talking about really big. Canelo is not a legit 168-pound fighter, right? Let's be real. He really isn't. In fact, Edgar Berlanga said he walks in at almost 205 pounds every time. And if I'm not mistaken, they said he weighed in at 195 in that fight, which is crazy. If you really think about it, Canelo's fighting a cruiserweight. And every time he steps on the ring. So the frequency of him getting knockouts for bigger guys is clearly going to be different, but he's still hurting them. And let's give Edgar credit. He got a chin. Edgar got a chin. He took some shots. You know, he got up or whatnot.
That was a nice left hook that sent him to the canvas.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is what it is. And Canelo kind of just, you know, he kind of punishes you for 12 rounds. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, it's not easy to get knockouts, and it's not as frequent with championship fights to get knockouts. It's not very common, and I think he kind of putting it Canelo the expectation level is very, very high in regards to that, especially when you're fighting much bigger men. Let me give you my take on the fight. I thought it was I didn't want him to knock him out. I'm with you. I did, and there was, and it's not more. I don't most people didn't give Edgar Berlanga much chance in this fight or credit due to what he's accomplished. But I think that's what it was. I just found the fight really weird in regards to Edgar Berlanga, right? So I watched him on the Mace thing. I don't know if you've seen the Mace recent interview with him and Berlanga, and he was like, yo, he's gonna die in the ring, he's gonna go out on the shield, he's gonna do all this stuff. And Mace was like, yo, when I watched the fight, none of that happened. And it was almost a celebration, and it was actually a celebration in the ring. I mean, after the fight with Fat Joe, all those people, for him surviving. It was almost as if the goal of the fight was to survive. Am I tripping with that?
No, it was the weirdest leading. Even his backers like Amanda Serrano and our boy Flat, like because he was like they were writing win, lose, or draw. No matter the outcome, you're a winner. Which is basically a nice way of saying go in there and lose. You're already won by this fight. No. Like your biggest supporters are like tweeting this and Facebook and messaging this, and before you even step in the ring. Like it's
dude, it was weird, Jess. The win for him was surviving.
The win for him was surviving, and I don't even think he was. I mean, he banged out a little, but there was hardly any defense there. I don't think he's like, people are like, oh, my expectations were were exceeded. I'm like, nah, not really. Canelo just didn't get rid of him.
I don't think people believe he could have survived for 12 rounds. They didn't think he was going to get knocked out. But when you're fighting somebody who's kind of passive aggressive, that he's not opening up, it's not easy to knock somebody out when they're not trying to actually beat you. And that's the vibe I got. Like, even with the celebration afterwards, people were just ecstatic that he survived. Like, I'm watching Fat Joe. I love you. You did it. You did it. And I'm like, what did he do?
But yeah, the win was in surviving, which
but for them it seemed like it was. And in fact, Edgar Berlanga called for a rematch. And I was like, Edgar, listen, you did survive. Okay. You didn't, if you won a round, you were lucky. If you won one round. It wasn't a fight where, it was ever a question that Canelo was going to win. Now, I will say this. He did show a lot of, he showed a good chin. He took some shots. But to be honest with you, like, it's not something I would want to see again. It really was. And if he would have sat there and fought and went 12 rounds, it was crazy. And, my boy, he's in his camp. Shout out to my boy Trap Life. He hits me up. He's like, yo, you're not giving my boy credit. He fought better than Munguia. Did he? Did he? I don't believe so. I think Munguia actually tried to fight.
Munguia was winning the first few rounds of the fight, actually.
He might have won a couple of the first rounds. But he was trying to fight. He was actually throwing punches. He was coming forward. He was trying to make that. And that's something that I found really weird. Like, my boy's like, oh, he did better Munguia. Whatever. Canelo carried Munguia. He didn't want to knock him out. Now, I will say this. I will give Edgar credit for this. He did give him he did frustrate him. Like, Canelo actually, that was the most impressive thing over Munguia, was that Canelo really did want to knock him out. Like, he was really getting upset at the trash talk and all of that. Like, it was crazy. Like, that was the main thing for me that I can take my hat off to. I'm sorry about that. For Edgar Berlanga, was that he frustrated him to the point that he wanted to see him get knocked out. Like, that's legit. Canelo did want to knock him out, and he didn't get knocked out, but he did not engage enough for him to get knocked out. He was always on the ropes. It was almost like, people say the rope saved you from getting knocked down. It almost felt like he felt more comfortable. I have this thing that if he hits me, I'm not going to fall. It wasn't a situation where he was coming forward like Jaime Munguia and trying to actually win the fight. I think Munguia actually tried to win the fight. I think both approaches, in my opinion, and this is not to slight Edgar, was Munguia tried to win the fight. Edgar tried to survive. I think that's the synopsis of this actual fight. That was the big difference. And I think people, and my man Trump was like, oh, you're bugging Norbs, this and that. And I'm like, dude, no, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, he did a little. I can see that because he did a little more than just try to survive. He was actually, fighting back. Like Charlo was trying to survive.
No, but I'm talking about towards the end, he makes it up a little bit after he realized, oh shit, I could take some of these shots. He even said it in the post conference, like, oh, I got to taste his power and this and that. And I'm kind of like, that's what it felt. But I mean, I give him that in a sense where I'm like, Canelo did want to knock him out. Like Canelo was actually like, yo, I'm gonna knock him out. The dirty tactics, all that stuff. But I feel like Jaime Munguia went in there like, win, lose, or draw, I'm going out. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get that vibe from Berlanga. Like, even with the celebrations, like, it was crazy. You did it, man. You did it. And I'm like, what did he do? What did he actually, like, he survived? That's the win? That makes me want to go see him go fight. He said he wants to fight Skull, which I could care less about that, to unify, to then get a rematch to unify the belts. No, it does not make. I will say this: I'd like to see him fight Caleb Plant now.
I'll be good.
I'd like to see that. I think Caleb Plant beats him handily, to be honest with you. But I would love to see that fight. You know what I mean? And listen, speaking of Caleb Plant, I mean, that was impressive against was it McCumbee? I would like to see. I don't know if that's how you say his name.
Trevor McCumbee. Yeah, Trevor McCumbee.
Okay, it wasn't a pause. I'd like to see McCumbee versus Berlanga. Those fights I'd like to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't.
That was the fight of the night. That was the fight of the card. McCumbee Plant. That was.
It was the performance of the night. But first of all, from Caleb Plant, and we'll get into that later. But leaving that fight, I didn't leave the fight thinking to myself, yeah, I want to see a rematch. Like, yo, he was so impressed. I wasn't. I think people that were in his corner were more satisfied with the fact that he didn't get KO'd. And listen, the celebrations were, to me, were a little embarrassing. They were celebrating that he didn't get knocked out. When was the last time you've seen a fight when people's moral victory was not getting KO'd? I thought it was. I mean, as a Puerto Rican, I don't think Puerto Rico was sitting there like, yeah, he didn't get knocked out. No, I mean it's kind of disrespectful to the great Camacho and Felix Trinidad's and Rosario's. Like, these guys went in there to fight, and almost it's just one of them things, man. And it's not like when Camacho fought Chavez. Camacho was kind of over the hill already. This is a young lion that didn't try to win the fight. I'm sorry, he just did not try to win the fight.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
There's two different skill sets. I mean, the odds was 10-1 for a reason. It's like
100%. But just
I don't remember when I saw the odds like that on the championship.
Okay, McCumbee was an underdog versus Caleb Plant, a huge underdog.
Yeah,
he tried to win the fight. He tried to fight. He threw blows that sent Caleb Plant to the canvas. Let's be real.
McCumbee was packing a punch, man.
McCumbee.
I thought he was going to win. I was man, what's Plant going to do next?
100%. But you see the difference. McCumbee, yeah, you could be an underdog. That doesn't mean you don't try to win the fight. I've never seen a fight where people showed up to not get knocked out. Just listen, don't try to win. You're moral victory. We're going to have a cake for you on the back that's going to say you didn't get knocked out. When I heard Fat Joe scream out, "You did it, Papi, you did it," I was like, what the fuck did he do, Joe?
Yeah, he lost every round.
I mean, listen, like I said, the one thing he did do was open up the door to see him fight guys like Munguia or McCumbee or Caleb Plant or Charlo. That's it. But and the crazy thing is, I still think he wouldn't beat those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Berlanga's, I gotta see him in more action, but I've seen him live. I got my chosen one shirt.
No way,
I don't know. Yeah, I got my chosen one shirt. It was a good price.
you paid for that.
Yeah.
You're a real Puerto Rican. I give
Whenever,
you this. My boy calls
whenever I
me.
go,
My boy
whenever
said
I
I
go
should be ashamed.
box at the Garden too, it's just fun to rock their gear.
I mean, listen, I'm
He was
happy
fighting a
Edgar
small dude.
was able to take care of his family.
Maybe I mean I don't know. I gotta see what's next for him. Berlanga Plant might be interesting.
Well, he said he wants the winner of so the IBF is available, right? He said he wants to win. He wants to go fight the winners of Skull, and I don't even know who he's fighting, to be honest with you. And he said he would win that belt, and then he said if Canelo could wait, they can rematch in a unification for the belt. I don't know. I mean, what's next? I don't think that's on Canelo's to-do list. I don't think he cares about being undisputed with all 4 belts anymore. He's already been there, done that. Well, what you
Canelo
think?
might fight Chris Eubank and call it wraps.
I don't think so. I don't. I mean, listen. I agree with you. I think we're almost to the curtain call for Canelo, right? I don't think he goes out like Floyd went out. I'm going to be honest with you. I do believe he will fight Conor McGregor. I do believe that's going to happen. I think he's going to go. I think
That's
he's going to go for the check. 100%. But that's clearly a money move. Even Jake Paul is clearly a money move. But I think Canelo, and this is just me, I think Canelo is going to entertain fighting Crawford. I don't think he's going to entertain fighting Benavidez. I don't think he likes Benavidez, but he did say he is open to fighting Benavidez. He just wants that bag. I get it. Which people critique them because I think even Terrence Crawford I just watched Gerald just sent me a text and it was like, yo, you can't complain about his weight, Benavidez, when you allowed Berlanga to show him at 190 something, which is a fact. It's true. It's hard to argue that, but it's 2 different skill sets. Benavidez is a lot better fighter than Berlanga was. I think Canelo fights maybe 1 or 2 more years. 1.5 years. I think he ends up fighting McGregor, Jake Paul. I think I do believe it's a possibility for the Terrence Crawford fight. I'm not saying it's 100%. I don't think he fights Chris Eubank, but although he did say he wants to fight in London, that's the only thing that makes me believe that he'll fight Eubanks Jr. because he did say he wanted to fight at Wembley. So I could see that happening, but I don't think he goes out like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think Chris.
I know you want to see him on his back. You want to see Canelo on his back. You want to see him stopped. It's not gonna happen. It's not.
I don't think Chris Eubank beats Canelo. No. Oh, you're talking about me wanting to see him versus?
You want to see that bad. Look at your smile. You're just so evil, dog. You just
Benavidez is the fight.
No, it's definitely the fight that everybody wants to see. It's just going to cost a whole lot. And listen, his name is still not up there. He's again going to be the undercard to a Gervonta fight. They're trying to build up his resume. He didn't say he's not doing what he said he originally was going to do and fight the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev. Now he's fighting. I don't know who the hell he's fighting. He was not that impressive at 175 on his debut. So I think he's trying to kind of get that spark back. But I want to say Canelo eventually fights Benavidez, but if it doesn't happen if it doesn't happen from here to May, Cinco de Mayo, I don't think it happens. I think Crawford maybe is a chance, Cinco de Mayo.
That's not going to happen.
No,
Crawford is a possibility. Yeah, which might be interesting. Crawford.
I know you said he beat him. You said he beat Canelo.
I think Crawford could outbox him.
Okay, well, based on what?
Crawford is the most skilled boxer I think that's out right now. He adjusted the fight plan.
So you were impressed with his back though?
Besides this last fight, I don't think the last 8 years went the distance.
Okay. I mean, I think I think it's a possibility. I think Canelo stops him, to be honest with you. It's a difference with weight. I mean, it's the weight, but it's also the levels. Canelo, as much as you hate to admit it, a lot of people, he has a skill set. He can defend. He's not a guy that just goes straight forward, and he can, he knows how to avoid big shots. He can give the big shots. He breaks you down. I would like to see it just to shut people up because I think people. It's crazy how the target is always on Canelo. Canelo has to always fight the big guy. Why is Canelo cherry picking? And then I sit back and I watch guys like Gervonta Davis, and I watch guys like Terrence Crawford avoid mandatories that are big fights. Boots is a big fight. Gervonta's done the same thing with Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. I mean, those are big fights. So I mean, it's not fair to me, but I mean, I'd like to see it. I would love to see it, but matter of fact, speaking of Teofimo, did you see the Teofimo back and forth with Terrence Crawford?
Kendrick Lamar. Lamar.
That's why he wants that fight. I'm gonna keep it real. Bro, you're not gonna mistake Canelo Alvarez for anybody else. He's Canelo. He's the face of boxing. That was embarrassing. I'm sorry to tell you.
And they had his like achievements too. It's like Grammy winner.
Dude, that is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I might be one of the only people, but I'd like to see Teofimo. I think Teofimo's a straight dog. I'd love to see him fight Terrence Crawford. I think he's one of them guys that just he wants to fight everybody. And now he's training with Reynoso and Canelo, which I think is absolutely necessary, and I think it makes him a dangerous opponent. Learning from one of the greatest ever.
I want to see Teo mix it up with all of them.
Nobody wants to fight him. Nobody wants no smoke with Teo, bro.
Yeah. I don't think anybody beats Crawford. I mean, Canelo because two different weight classes. I don't think anyone's seeing Crawford when it comes to like.
So you didn't see no kinks in his armor when he fought Magdalf, whatever his name is.
He just fought him perfectly. But I just think that he could adjust the game plans, and he's so powerful too. It's just that he couldn't really let go of him because of the guy's defense, and the guy was a tough fight. It was
it's crazy how you say that about him, but you don't say that about Canelo. It's crazy. You don't say he should have stopped Magdalf, but you say Canelo should have stopped Berlanga.
But Crawford has knocked his opponents out the past eight years in a row.
Where's the energy? I didn't hear you say that one time.
What's that?
I didn't hear you say that one time. I'm just pointing out the obvious, Jess.
Canelo hasn't dropped somebody Canelo hasn't knocked out his opponent in 4 years.
Since Caleb Plant. I mean, they're all way bigger than 3 years. They're all way bigger than I'm sorry. Listen, I don't and Canelo said it's 12 rounds for a reason. I get it. Listen, it is what it is. I'm not mad at that. So Terrence Crawford did call out Canelo Alvarez. All right. He brought up what did he bring up? And it was crazy because he felt a lot more confident because Berlanga went 12 rounds. He hasn't called out Canelo in a while because the Magdalf situation and people critiquing him for having trouble. Some people had him losing, Jesse. Wait, let me repeat that, Jesse. They had him losing that fight. I didn't have him losing the fight, but a lot of people did have him losing that fight and calling for a rematch. I'm just saying, Jess, because you did say, whatever. What do you think? I thought he won the fight.
He won it. The most I could see was a draw.
Versus a guy with 10 fights, by the way. Just repeat that. Keep going.
Yeah, it's crazy though. I was listening to some boxing people, and they were like, "Yo, this is actually a big style clash." You got to know who to follow on Twitter and stuff.
I seen all of that.
They were like, "Yo, this is actually going to be a good fight, a dangerous fight for Crawford."
Mm-hmm.
And Crawford came through victorious.
I think people make excuses for certain individuals. I've never heard somebody say that about Canelo. A lot of people just attack Canelo all the time. I'm telling you, I'm reading tweets all morning. Look, I'm going to read this one that Gerald sent me this morning, right? He says, hold on, let me pull it up real quick. What the fuck is this?
Canelo's a great fighter, but he got a couple of wins that should have been losses.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Which was of those?
The first Triple G fight. I actually gave Triple G both fights.
I don't agree with that. So, like you said, Canelo claims Terence Crawford is easy work. If he's so easy, why demand 150 million to fight him? Canelo knows that Bud's going to win, not survive. He also knows the styles make fights. That was just one of the many tweets that come about. And you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
That he shouldn't be asking for 150 million.
Oh, Canelo could ask for whatever he wants. I'm saying styles make fights, and Bud is going to come to fight.
So what do you think Bud does that actually gives Canelo problems?
He could switch up. You don't know where he's coming, if he's going to be righty or lefty. He could fight. He could fight Canelo southpaw.
Okay. Southpaw's giving Canelo a problem.
I think it was going to give Canelo a problem.
Have you seen a southpaw give him problems?
What's Lara? Is Lara a southpaw?
I think Lara's a southpaw.
I think right now. The Lara fight, I could guess. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What are the... Jesus.
I think it's hard to study for Crawford, and I just seen Crawford, and his defense is a little different. He's not gonna be there to get hit like other people are. If he does get caught, he gets caught.
I've seen him take some shots. I've seen him get hurt by lesser punchers.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Canelo could hurt him, right? But I'm seeing him survive it. I could see Crawford surviving. I'm not saying
surviving is not winning. You said winning. I don't want to hear a Berlanga story.
If Crawford survives getting hit, he wins. I think he could beat him on the scorecards.
So you think he's going to be willing to engage with Canelo? That's the only way he's going to win. He's going to have to land. He can't win that fight fighting like Berlanga. He's not going to have that weight like Berlanga. He's going to have to take those punches to the arm, which Canelo is famously known to do to wear you down. He doesn't throw a jab like that. You know what I'm saying? He's a great counterpuncher, but can he hurt Canelo? I don't believe he can. And I listen, they're weight classes for a reason. I think 50. He went to 54 and had a problem, and people made excuses because of the weight and the awkwardness. You're talking about, and I was watching. I don't know who I was watching. I was watching Paulie Malignaggi, right? And he's not a big Canelo fan, but he was talking about how when he fought Miguel Cotto was always there. Like he literally, wherever he turned, he was there. And it reminded me of how Canelo fights. Whenever you fight Canelo, he's right there for 12 rounds. So he doesn't really take many breaks. So you have to fight behind a really strong jab. And I think when he fought Floyd, he was young. Floyd just outsmarted him. He's a different man. When he fought Bivol was a legit walking around at cruiserweight. Fought behind a strong jab. And he still waited for Canelo to kind of wear himself out because Canelo kind of underestimated, in my opinion, how strong he was. Can Bud do that? I don't know if Bud can sit there and hide behind a jab for 12 rounds against somebody that hits like Canelo. And I think he's very underrated in regards to his quickness, Canelo, and in that terms. I will say this. I think Bud Crawford is in my top 5, pound for pound. I don't have him as number 1, but he is in my top 5. I would love to see it, but I would also love to see him fight Boots. I'm tired of the ducking on that situation. But would I be surprised if he wins? Yes, 100%. Does he have the skill set?
I want to mention favoritism. Why is Crawford ducking Boots, but why isn't Canelo ducking Benavidez? Why are they? I
said he doesn't want to fight him. He wants the money. There's a big. So let me bring this levels. Okay, Canelo Alvarez. How many pay-per-views did he just sell?
I heard 750,000.
Okay, has Canelo sold 1 million pay-per-views before?
Yeah.
Has Crawford done that?
I don't know. I don't know what him. No. I don't know what him versus Spence did.
The answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is no. So Canelo, you can't compare anyone to Canelo, and the reason being is because the amount of money he draws. So when he goes to the table, he says, "All right, I'm going to fight Let's say I'm gonna fight Berlanga. He understands what he can sell with Berlanga, right? He sold 750,000 with Berlanga, who nobody gave a chance to, right? So now it gets confusing when you got a lot of people saying that Benavidez can beat him, right? So he said, oh, okay, cool. So Benavidez can beat me. That means you guys are going to tune in. I'm going to need this amount of money to make this fight happen because each fight is valued at a different level. But Crawford has never reached that level that Canelo has. So it's a different, economically, it's a different, in my opinion, it's a different approach to actually being, you know what I'm saying? Like Crawford can't walk to the table and say, all right, listen, to fight Boots, I'm going to need 50 million. He can't do that. He's never done it before. Canelo understands the value. So to me, it's a different approach. Now, what I say, is he being reluctant to fight Benavidez? I don't think he likes Benavidez. I don't think he likes his dad. I don't think that he likes the things that's been said about him. But he also understands the monetary value of that fight. And he put a price on it. He said, all right, I want this. Did Jess, let's be honest.
He got offered the money, I think.
No, he didn't. He never got offered. They offered him 50 million. You know what he got for Jaime Munguia? 40. Come on, Jess.
What did the Prince offer him?
That never came out. But the Prince said he was not going to give him what he asked for. But Canelo never said he wouldn't. Canelo said that, first of all, Canelo came out and was like, yo, I'm willing to negotiate after the Berlanga fight. After the Berlanga fight. But Turkey Ali was kind of disrespectful. Like, yo, you need to take this. It's in your best interest. Then he disrespected him. And then you're trying to get this fight going, but you're insulting Canelo. You're saying how he's a coward. Guys, I'm sorry to tell you, that's not going to get you a Canelo fight. Not to mention, you know what I'm saying, you're losing. But back to my point with Crawford and Canelo, he would get he'd probably get good money to fight Boots, what he usually gets. He's not fighting him, but he's fighting Mozgov and everybody else. It doesn't make any sense. Canelo is kind of looking at the table like, look, you want me to fight this guy? You're going to have to give me XYZ. Guy walks around at 200-something pounds. The guy's dangerous. Most people think he can beat me. You're going to have to pay me. I get it. I get the approach. I think people don't put that into account when it comes to Canelo. He just sold 750,000 pay-per-views against Berlanga. Berlanga's not selling out the Garden. Berlanga's not a popular fighter. All that is overblown. This is about Canelo. And I think people are missing the big point. Canelo sold this fight. When he became English Canelo, he became more appealing to a broader audience, Jess. He was on the fucking Breakfast Club. He was on Sway. He's talking English. He was on Big Boy in the Big Boy, whatever, from LA. Mm-hmm. Kind of crossed a different demographic, bro. You can't talk money with Canelo and ducking because he generates a whole nother bag. You know what I'm saying? You don't see how many pay-per-views he'd sell with Benavidez? You don't think he knows that? And that's why I think, to your point, listen, I think you bring up a good point. I can't say, I mean, it's hard to say Canelo's not ducking and this guy is, you know what I'm saying? But it's different price brackets, bro. If I know this fight's gonna get me this, if I know Crawford can get me this, because y'all, a lot of people do believe Crawford can beat him and Benavidez can beat him, right? What's it gonna take? If I'm getting 40, 50 million to fight guys like Munguia, you think I'm gonna settle for 90?
Yeah.
You think? No, it doesn't work that way. Listen, I think Canelo might be the most savviest businessman in the history of boxing. I'm just being honest. He just understands certain things, bro. He's getting 80% of the gate, Jess. You know what 80% is? He said, you see when you buy a soda, I get 80% of that. That's insane. 80% of the concessions is insane.
So there you go. You know what?
There's
him
levels
versus,
to it, bro.
You know what him versus Benavidez would do? Man,
you gotta pay him.
On Cinco de Mayo? Shit.
You have to pay him, bro. When he says 200 million, do you think that's far-fetched? I don't think
no.
Far-fetched. So if you could get it, you wouldn't ask for it? So if you went to your job right now, right? You go to your job and say, hey, listen, I should get $40 an hour. But, I'll take 22. You would do that? Come on, Jess.
Yeah,
Come on,
I
man.
mean, that's
Canelo is an anomaly, bro. He's something that's not normal in boxing.
yeah.
I mean, listen, I get it. Listen, I want to see the fight too. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see the fight. It's just you're gonna have to pay him. I mean, I don't think he's ducking him. You know what I'm saying? But I'd like to see the same energy applied to Terrence Crawford, Gervonta Davis as well. That's all I'm saying. Because I want to see Gervonta fight some fighters. He's not even.
Oh, Crawford has stepped in there with Spence. That was the fight everybody was.
That's it.
But that was the one everybody. That was the Benavidez Canelo for him. You know.
Yes and no. Because he had, up to that point, he didn't fight no big names. Canelo has already fought Triple G. He's already fought Shane Mosley. He's already fought Miguel Cotto. He's already fought Floyd Mayweather. He's done all of these accolades.
Crawford had fought Sean Porter. He had fought Victor Posto.
If you have the nerve to put Sean Porter with the names I just named?
He was fighting in his weight class.
Is Sean Porter a Hall of Famer? I just named you 5 Hall of Famers. And you named Sean Porter? No,
I'm saying Crawford was beating the top of his weight class.
Sean Porter. So where would you put Sean Porter in that order of 5 people I just named?
It's 2 different weight classes.
Floyd was 147 pounds.
Resume.
Shane Mosley fought at 147 pounds. Miguel Cotto fought at 147 pounds.
They weren't there when Crawford was fighting.
Why didn't he fight Virgil Ortiz?
Huh?
Why didn't he fight Virgil Ortiz at 147?
That'll be a good fight too.
Why hasn't he? You're saying he fought these guys in his weight class, but the best guys in his weight class he hasn't fought outside of Errol Spence. Come on, Jess. Stop, man. Stop. Canelo has the right to pick and do what he wants right now. It's business. He's controlling the business. Nobody, listen, didn't Turkey Ali just have Terrence Crawford on the card in LA and loaded the card and lost money?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't.
But it was a good card.
You can't talk pay-per-view. Listen, we're not talking about if it was a good card or not. You can't talk to Canelo the same way you talk to Crawford because Crawford does not bring what Canelo brings to the table. Just the facts. Just the facts. This is out of Turkey Ali's mouth. Turkey Ali said it. I've lost money. I'm going to lower the pay-per-views to $20. He had Bud as the headliner.
Yeah.
Okay? We just seen Canelo fight Berlanga and exceed expectations. So what are we doing? You can't talk to Canelo the same way as you talk to any of these guys.
Yeah. I mean, he should fight Benavidez. That would do like 1.5 million pay-per-view buys.
And he's going to want a lot more up front. Bro, listen.
Why don't you take a portion of the pay-per-view, which I'm sure they're willing to do.
He's going to get that. It's about the guaranteed money. He wants what he wants. He's not a sucker. He's not. You can't talk to Canelo like that, bro. I mean, listen, I get it, man. I know you're a Canelo hater. I love Canelo. I have Canelo T-shirts. I have all that stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I have all that.
That shirt is tough. The bear with the gloves.
Yeah, it's nice. I think Canelo's the greatest Mexican fighter, the greatest Latino fighter to ever live. Period. I got him my top 5. I don't have him as the greatest. I have somebody else that I'm gonna do a blog about who is the greatest, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Who do you have as the greatest?
The greatest of all time. It's such a tough question. Probably Ali. I mean, gun to my head.
You gave the general answer that most people give.
Yeah, but it's so. I mean, you know, Ali was so special. And my favorite. Why Ali? The famous rope-a-dope. You know, that he was a heavyweight that could move light on his feet. You know, the Rumble in the Jungle, the matches with Frazier. You know, you know, the way he sold the fight. You know, I just, you know, I don't think who is your favorite of all time?
My favorite fighter of all time and my greatest is different. My favorite fighter of all time.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. My favorite that I've seen personally, probably Miguel Cotto.
My favorite, I mean, not even personally I've seen him. My favorite fighter of all time is between Camacho and Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. Those are my favorite fighters of all time. The greatest of all time is neither of them, in my opinion. Yes, people say Floyd won 50 fights undefeated, but there's a few undefeated fighters. I think that's going to be replicated. I think there's going to be multiple undefeated fighters, right? He's not even American, who I believe is the greatest fighter of all time. He's not.
I'm trying to guess.
He's not. He's done. So listen, there's been guys that have won 50 fights. There's been guys that have sold a lot of fights. He's the only person to have ever done this in the history of boxing. And we're talking about from Joe Louis. He's the only person to do this. And probably the only person that's ever going to do it in the history of boxing. Come on, Jesse. You're a boxing savant. You should know this.
Not from this country.
Not from this country. I think that was a dead giveaway at that point.
What era did he fight in?
Huh? Jeez, he was in the last era. He retired. I'm going to say it. Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is the greatest fighter in the history of boxing. And the reason I'm going to say that, I'm doing it in the blog. I'm going to break it down. There's going to be many fighters that have, a lot of knockouts, big fights. Manny Pacquiao's an 8 division world champion. Jess, do you understand that? I think he came up from like 115,
108,
108,
which makes me think like the Royd story. When I'm older, I'm like, yo, that dude might have definitely been on roids.
That's what. But the reason you say that is because, bro, who has ever done from 108 to 150? And listen, it wasn't like he went up from 108 to 154 and wasn't putting people to sleep. I seen the fear, the way he beat the living shit, and I love Miguel Cotto. The way he was just walking through people, the way he put the fear of God in Floyd Mayweather to the point where Mayweather's like, yo, so they got to test him. He's on something. I'm not fighting him. Like, these are things that he accomplished, bro. Like, it wasn't like he was going up and, he was going up and wasn't knocking people out. Or, oh, yo, the weight, I can't really hurt this guy because he's big. No, he went up 8 weight classes. This is a guy that's, I think, like 5'5". Bro, but that'll never be broken.
He couldn't handle Marquez.
I mean, Marquez is a great fighter.
That's my favorite fight of all time, actually. Pacquiao.
Listen, Vernon Forrest, I don't think he's a better fighter than Shane Mosley, but Shane Mosley couldn't beat him.
Yo, Vernon Forrest, and Vernon Forrest only 2 losses were to this freaking maniac.
But no, think about what I'm saying. How reluctant are fighters to go up 7 pounds? Oh no, I can't do it. Javante, no, I can't do 147. Oh no, I can't. This man went from 108 pounds to 154 and won titles, Jess.
Yeah,
and was flooring people. And the one thing about Manny Pacquiao, I feel like he didn't duck anybody. It wasn't ever a fight. Like Manny would be like, all right, let's set up the fight. Are you going to fight Miguel Cotto? Like, it's very difficult to, and I don't think he gets enough credit. But dog, think about this.
And he was exciting to watch too.
Exactly. He was fighting. He was moving forward. He wasn't trying to survive. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why you're gonna get knocked out by guys like Marquez. I mean, listen, just because Ali got knocked out, people consider him the greatest. This man has done something that nobody else has ever done and probably will never do. That he doesn't want to move up and weight. You got a lot of these guys that do not. They're like, no, we're gonna stay right here. This man took the risk from 108 to 154 and won belts, Jess. Is that ever going to be? I think being the greatest is doing something that no one else has been able to accomplish. Tom Brady winning 7 championships. Nobody's done it. Can it be done? Probably. But, dog, it's not easy. And he did it. Manny Pacquiao literally did it. Yeah. Nobody has that attribute. You could say Marciano was 50-0. You could say Floyd was 50-0. People can say, oh, well, Floyd beat Manny, Marquez beat him. Should he be the greatest? It's one of those things, bro. Like, that is going to be something, in my opinion, that it's never going to get done, especially this day and age.
Yeah.
Bro, 108. Joe, we see guys that are fighting at 108. We would never picture them at 154, ever. He did it.
Yeah, he was exciting.
Bro, and it's not like, he fought Miguel Cotto. He fought Oscar De La Hoya. He destroyed what's his name?
Ricky Haddon.
Like, dog, this man, Marquez, classic after classic after classic.
Margarito, Joshua Clottey. Yeah, the resume is crazy.
It's insane. Coming from 108. Can you imagine Bam Rodriguez fighting at 154 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, I mean, and that's kind of where I'm at with it when it comes to the greatest of all time. I got Manny, and this is coming from a Floyd fan. You know, I was a Floyd fan. You know me like 15 years. You know how much I love Floyd.
Yeah.
But you know, that's kind of where I'm at with it when it comes to him. But let's move forward. I got to give props. We were going to talk about this earlier, to somebody that I think people overlook, don't give as much credit to, and he's probably one of my top 5 fighters right now in terms of just being my favorite. Right after Canelo, this guy probably is my favorite fighter right now. Or let me say third, because Bam is my second favorite fighter. Caleb Plant, Macombi. Listen, when are we going to put some respect on Caleb Plant's name?
He has to win a big fight, you know.
His only losses are to Benavidez
and Canelo. His two big fights, you know.
It doesn't get bigger at 168.
I was at the Barclay where he knocked out Darrell. That was nice. That punch was just perfection.
Put him asleep.
You know, and Plant, you know, the thing about Plant, you know, that I think like the boxing fans love is just that, you know, Plant, he just lets it hang. Like, he'll get
his nuts hang.
He lets you know, like he'll get into it with Berlanga. He slapped Charlo, you know, like Plant is not scared of confrontation. I actually have to reach out to Breadman. I talked to him on Twitter. Plant's trainer. Yeah.
Bro, listen, I am a huge Plant fan, and he's earned it. Like, he's not scared of nobody. And I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of people come at him because he's a white boy. He's white boy grabbing his beard, slaps the shit out of Charlo, shows up and fights. Like, he doesn't just he fights. He tried to fight Canelo. He didn't run. He didn't run for Benavidez.
How he adjusted to the inside game on the Macombi fight was just wow. Like, yeah,
please, let's put some emphasis on that. Please, let's first of all, most fighters would have panicked getting knocked down like that, getting bullied. Like, this guy was landing shots, put him down. He got up, was like, no, it was a push, and adjusted in fight. Made the fight closer, took away the intelligence of Caleb Plant in that moment where he realized, like, if I fight this guy outside, it might be a long night. Let me take it inside and let me take away those long stride punches that he's throwing. That was a sign of greatness. Like, most people don't do that, bro. That was Floyd Mayweather-ish, to be honest with you, to go inside and take away what that man does well.
Adversity.
Listen, I absolutely adore Caleb Plant. Like, he's a dog, bro. And I'm tired of people trying to disrespect him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, dog, he'll fight anyone. I think he'll give people problems. Like, you're not going to walk through Caleb Plant. I'm sorry. It's not just going to happen. This guy's going to fight you. Like, listen, we just said Berlanga was happy surviving. Caleb Plant fought Canelo. He tried to win. Mm-hmm. He tried to fight Benavidez. He didn't run. Yeah, he got knocked out. But, you know, he went to fight. These guys are showing up to fights and not fighting. They're there to survive. Caleb Plant's not there to survive, bro. And I think people got to start taking their hat off to him. He'll fight Berlanga. He'll fight Boo Boo. He'll fight whoever. He's like, yo, I want the title shot. I want a rematch with Canelo. If there's anyone that deserves it, it is him, a rematch. Even though he lost, this guy's still going out there putting on shows. I absolutely love Caleb Plant, bro. Like, he's dope. Bro, like, he's entertaining, he's funny, he's intelligent. Listen, I don't think people need to put a lot more, give him a lot more clout for what he just did, Jess. I'm sorry. That was impressive, man.
That was impressive, yeah, man. And Macombi too, man. Macombi, you know.
Macombi showed me something. Like, he really did show me something, bro. Like, to put a guy like Caleb Plant, who is very tough, early knockdowns like that. Canelo didn't do it. Neither did what's his face. Like, he really did show up there. I think he had a long ass layoff too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had like a 4-year layoff or some crazy shit like that. And to come back and fight like that, I thought was I want to see him again. There's a lot of guys. I'd like to see him against Pacheco. That would be crazy. Pacheco versus Caleb Plant. I would like to see McCombie versus Berlanga. I think Berlanga is going to try to play the whole I just fought Canelo, I need this, but these are fights I want to see. 168 kind of got more interesting with McCombie, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And then that co-main event killed the card. Danny Garcia needs to call it quits, man.
I knew that. That was, dude. That was.
He didn't want to be there.
You know. We all deal with mental issues, mental health issues. You've dealt with them. I've dealt with them. I feel like Danny. First of all, and I'm going to put this out there real quick. I was really offended when people said, when they were questioning if Danny Garcia is a Hall of Famer. I'm like, he's a Hall of Famer, bro. First of all, you're talking about somebody that was never expected to be where he was at. Got his fame after knocking out Amir Khan when nobody believed he could do it. Beat Zab Judah, granted the old Zab Judah. Lost most of his big fights, but did still fight him. I think was it Errol Spence he fought?
He beat Matisse though. He lost to Spence. He lost to Porter.
Yeah, and people
that was a good fight too, though. Yeah,
but Danny, has I think he's fought a couple times in 4 years, and it's due to his mental health. He even had a mental breakdown during a fight. I mean, or after the fight.
After the fight, yeah.
After the fight, breaking it down. Danny's been through a lot, and I agree with you. I think he needs to just say, that's it. And one thing about Danny is he's not stupid. He's very smart in regards to investing his money. He's a good dude. I'm sad that Puerto Rico doesn't embrace him as they should, because he is one of our great fighters of all time. When you say great Puerto Rican fighters, you never mention Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia needs to be mentioned in that. He should be a Hall of Famer. I don't put much on that loss to Lara simply because he went up to 160. He's not there anymore. This is not what Danny does. Danny has a granite chin. Even that knockdown was putrid. It wasn't even a shot that Danny Garcia would ever go down with if it was the real Danny Garcia. So
yeah, he walked to the corner and they're like, "You want to continue?" He's like, "I don't."
No, mentally he wasn't there. And you know what? Shout out to Angel. I love what he did, and was a father. I mean, I've watched guys like, what was it? That guy Josue Suarez, I think his name was. Watch his father tell him, "Get up," after being rocked like 6 different times and could barely even see. Angel sat there and was like, "This is my son. I love him, and it's it. I know, and it's it, and that's it." And I respected Angel for that. Angel's been not only a great trainer, but he's been a great dad, bro. Like, I truly, really, really respect him, and I think Danny should be undoubtedly a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I didn't realize my phone was on low battery. It's about to die.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, dude. You gotta go. That's not a problem.
No, I'm saying if it cuts off.
Oh no problem. My laptop is the same way, but yeah, Jess. I mean, you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Danny, yeah, man, I love Danny. Freaking that Amir Khan fight made me some money, and so did the Matisse fight.
No, listen, man. I think Danny needs to be appreciated a lot more, man. I love Danny. I don't want to see him back in the ring. I don't even count the Lara fight, to be honest with you. But the disrespect shown to Danny is absolutely insane. Going up to 160, we all knew like he wasn't there, bro. When he walked out to the ring, he didn't even look like Danny when he was in the ring.
Yeah,
they were talking to him in the corner. It was just like.
Yeah, he's mentally checked out of the sport, and it's not. The first fight, Rolly Romero is
he's the greatest.
He's kind of fun to watch because
greatest. Don't disrespect Rolly. He's the greatest.
He did win, and he won the fight. I never seen defense so bad. Like, even if I went to train at the gym, I would be like, "Yo, don't I have to put up my hands when the other guy?"
Rolly believes defense is for suckers. Okay, Rolly doesn't believe it.
Like, he just has his face wide open. I mean, he comes from Taekwondo, but I mean, like, wouldn't the first question you do, like, if you go to box, is like, "Yo, shouldn't I defend myself against the other guy?"
I think he started like at 19 years old. Just like, listen, I love Rolly. He's another guy I love. I love Rolly Romero. I didn't like
He's
him when I first seen him.
hysterical. I love Roy.
He's something we need in the sport in regards to entertainment. I'd love to see. I hope he fights. I really want to see him fight Ryan Garcia. That's going to be the greatest press tour in the
Oh,
history.
Ryan will knock him out.
Boy, listen, you're not hearing me.
Yeah.
It's going to be the greatest press tour in mental health history. It's going to be hilarious. We're talking about two buffoons, respectively, going in on each other. I see you got a yellow belt there. I didn't even know you were training, but you know, I think it'd be dope. I think Rolly Romero is the GOAT. I love him, but they're trying to keep him around. Jess, let's be honest. They're trying to keep him around. The guy makes money. He's popular. He makes people laugh. They want to keep him around. They're talking about him fighting Ryan, possibly Devin Haney. Listen, these are all fights that I would pay to see. Now, would he win? I'm with you. He probably won't win, but in the heart of me, he would win. In my heart, he wins every fight. He's undefeated to me. He didn't lose to Gervonta. He's the greatest.
Yeah, he was actually giving Gervonta trouble, man. I want to see Gervonta versus somebody good, man. I can't wait for the Better Beef Bevo fight.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see Gervonta Teofimo. I think that's the fight that has to happen. Like,
do you think
well,
you think Dubas has a chance against
no.
Anthony Joshua?
No.
I
think Anthony Joshua is that guy. Like I think people underappreciate Anthony Joshua because he's from London. Like,
well, he lost to Usyk twice.
Usyk is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
No, I'm just saying this is where
there is no shame in losing to Usyk. He's the best fighter in the world.
Yeah.
Period. You can't tell me that. As I say, well, he lost to Michael Jordan, the best player ever.
Yeah.
You can't condemn people for losing to guys like Floyd Mayweather.
No, but you just
and
saying
Canelo.
Like, Anthony Joshua is him, and I'm like, well, he lost to Usyk twice.
I mean, he is, but
yeah,
I mean, outside of Usyk, he pretty much wins. He beats Wilder. That's going to happen. He's going to knock Wilder out when they fight. You know what I mean? He's going to knock Wilder out. Him and Tyson Fury, I'm going to be honest, he might beat Tyson Fury.
Anthony Joshua?
Yes.
That'd be a good fight.
Yes.
Well, Usyk has the rematch with Fury first. That'll be a good fight.
I'm not going to lie, son. Usyk is very impressive, man. What is he, the only 4-belt champion in both cruiserweight and heavyweight in history? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Usyk is good. If he beats Fury for the second time, I'll be like cemented. I'll be like, yo, who else is there for this guy?
Yo, Usyk.
There'll be nobody. If he beats Fury in the rematch, there's nobody for him.
I mean, who would? Nah, you're right. I like Usyk, man. I used to doubt him.
You would have to send Zhang.
I don't want to see Yao Ming's twin. I don't want to see him. I don't. The Big Bang. He makes me laugh. The Big Bang.
Big Bang.
What did he say? What did he say in the promo that was so pause-worthy? I bang you. I was like, whoa, Zhang, we got to work on the promo. All right. Yeah. I don't know what the hell he was talking about. I was like,
he knocked Wilder out though.
Wilder is a shell of himself.
Yeah.
Wilder should not be boxing anymore. He's I mean, intimidation-wise, Wilder's lost everything. Mentally, we want to talk about Danny Garcia being mentally out of it. This guy's been mentally out of it since he still wants a 4th fight with Fury. He's not gotten over that, bro. I mean, let's keep it real. Like, and listen, I got a lot of respect for Deontay Wilder. He's the biggest puncher in the history of boxing. But he's mentally checked out, bro. And that's what I say. With guys like Danny, guys like Deontay Wilder, this is too dangerous of a sport to not be 100% here. You know what I'm saying? To not be 100% here, it's too dangerous. It's too dangerous. Yeah. So, but on that note, Jess, this is a great show, man. I love having you, man. We got to keep doing this on a weekly basis. We're going to try to get an interview for the fans, put it up this weekend, and we're going to try to shoot it this week, drop it on Monday. And hopefully Jesse can join me every Wednesday. We'll go live, talk about what's going on, and just talk our shit. Jesse, it was a pleasure talking with you, you fucking Canelo hater, because that's what you are. You are a Canelo hater.
Canelo realist.
No, you're a Canelo hater. You want to see anybody be Canelo, but it's okay. You've always been biased to certain people. But on that note, Jess, it was an honor. I will see you. I'll talk to you during the day. We are out of here, my brother. Oh man, the pose. Do that again. Do that again. Yeah. All right, brother.
Later, brother.